Who are the Danakil, also known as the Afar People? They are natural-born warriors, forged by the very land they call home. The story of Danakil bravery begins long before foreign invaders set foot on their lands. The Afar people were born into one of the harshest environments on Earth, the Danakil Depression. A land of volcanic fire, shifting salt plains, boiling springs, and relentless droughts. Here, survival itself is an act of heroism. To live in the Triangle of Fire, the hottest inhabited place on Earth, demands endurance, discipline, and fearlessness. Generations of Afar tribes became hardened by nature itself, relying on their ability to navigate deserts, defend precious wells, and protect their caravans from raiders. Thus, before any battle against colonizers or empires, the Danakil had already mastered the first and most brutal battlefield. The unforgiving land. Early resistance against foreign intrusions, 16th to 17th century. In the 1500s, Portuguese explorers and merchants advanced toward the Red Sea and the Horn of Africa, seeking to dominate the sea routes and spread Christianity. But instead of easy conquest, they faced fierce resistance from the Danakil. Portuguese chroniclers wrote of how Afar tribes ambushed expeditions, cut off water supplies, and surrounded invaders in the desert. Using spears, curved daggers known as gile, and masterful desert tactics, the Danakil outmaneuvered technologically superior forces. And unlike larger kingdoms, they refused to negotiate or surrender. Their resistance in this era laid the foundation for a reputation that would echo through the centuries. Afar lands are not to be touched. Struggles against Ottoman expansion. During the Ottoman Empire's rise, Turkish forces tried to seize control of the Afar coast, especially Massawa. The Ottomans built forts, imposed taxes, but the Danakil tribes resisted inland expansion with relentless attacks on supply lines, ambushes, and desert warfare. The Ottomans soon realized they could control the ports, but the Afar interior was beyond their reach. No matter how powerful, even an empire that stretched across 3 continents could not break the independence of the Danakil. Bravery against French colonialism in Djibouti. In the 1800s, France expanded into what is now Djibouti. But the Afar tribes, the Adal and Isa clans, fiercely resisted. They raided French forts, attacked supply caravans, and refused treaties that would make them colonial subjects. Rather than submit, many chose the hardships of stateless life in the desert. In the end, the French realized they could only create loose protectorates, never true control. Because the Danakil refused to bow. Legendary resistance against Italian colonialism. In the late 19th century, Italy invaded Eritrea and coastal Ethiopia. But under the leadership of Sultan Yassin Haysama, the Afar tribes mounted courageous resistances. Sultan Yassin led warriors in battles around Assab and southern Eritrea, launching ambushes, harassing forts, and refusing to recognize colonial administrators. Italy, despite its military might, was forced to negotiate, unable to fully conquer the Danakil. Even during broader wars between Ethiopia and Italy, many Afar refused alliances unless their autonomy was guaranteed. Their loyalty was not to empires. It was to freedom. Internal bravery, resistance against Ethiopian imperial rule. Even after European ambitions faded, the Afar continued to resist internal oppression. Under Haile Selassie's rule, the emperor tried to impose heavy taxes, force Amharic schooling, and control Afar leaders. Result: widespread rebellions. Later, under the brutal Derg regime led by Mengistu, the Afar formed organized armed groups like the Afar Liberation Front. Armed with little more than courage and ancient weapons, they fought guerrilla wars against Soviet-equipped Ethiopian forces for decades. In every era, the Afar proved they would rather die free than live enslaved. Modern struggles, a spirit that never dies. Even today, the spirit of bravery continues. In Eritrea, Afar communities demand recognition of their identity. In Ethiopia, they maintain their proud heritage despite ongoing conflicts. In Djibouti, Afar political movements push for greater rights and inclusion. The bravery of the Danakil lives on. Not just on the battlefield, but in every act of preserving their culture, their language, and their dignity. They remain, as they have always been, a people that cannot be conquered.